Brown woman speaking.
Brown woman speaking.
Brown woman speaking.
Please hold for the next available conversation.
What's up, y'all? I'm Portia, the Brown Woman Speaking, and you have reached the Brown Woman Speaking podcast hotline, where every week there's a new topic and a new guest, and you have been granted access to the conversation. This week, I am joined by the dynamic duo, the talented voices behind Pillow Talking Podcast, JT and NENE.
What is up?
How y'all been doing this rough year?
It's good, man.
Making the best of it.
Yeah. It's a big year for us.
So while you say it's a big year for y'all, what happened this year?
The opportunity. I think for us, the biggest thing about 2020 was the opportunity to be forced to use our time wisely.
Yeah.
Like before the pandemic, it was like she's working in school. I'm everywhere, music, traveling.
Yes.
We got kids. Life was just going.
It was fast. Yeah, life was just going by too fast.
And I feel like there was progress, but not enough. I feel like we've done more in this pandemic than we did over the first 2 years of our marriage.
Absolutely.
As far as growing together, growing our content, our individual lives, we matured so much. Everything.
Yep.
Just by being forced to sit
down and chill.
And chill.
Yeah. All right.
I wish I had that experience. So how long have y'all been doing Pillow Talking Podcast? Like, when was your first podcast episode?
Our first podcast episode technically was in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the official podcast. Well, we've been doing YouTube since we started dating.
Yeah, which is 18.
Right. Well,
we started,
2017 is when we started our YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We started dating in 2016.
Yeah.
2016 we started dating. 2017 was the YouTube. And then our YouTube videos turned into a podcast in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were too long.
They were getting too long.
Was too long.
And it was hard to kind of keep the videos under 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we just let's just change the form and do it as a podcast.
And he always used to be like, you talk too much. Like, stop saying all that stuff. So he was like, hey, this is how he pitched it to me. He's like, I got a good idea. So I was like, well, he was like, you like to talk? Let's do a podcast. And I was like, because I was the first, I'm like, let's do a YouTube. Like, I've been want to do a YouTube, let's do a YouTube. And he was like, all right, let's go. So I was kind of sad, that our attention had switched focus. I was like, well, what about on YouTube? He was like, a podcast is better. Like, we could put it on YouTube and you could talk. So I was like, all right,
you can have both the best.
Because it was getting to a point we were trying to have people were asking relationship questions and things of that nature, and it was so hard to be succinct, and it just was impossible.
It was so much to think about, to stay on topic,
right?
Watch your time, be honest though. You want to be honest and truthful about the issues,
right?
But you still have to look at the time,
so we kind of switched over.
While you on camera and all in at the same time.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We love the podcast, and that's how I think.
One thing I saw for y'all this year with y'all podcast is that y'all were on y'all had Angel on.
Yeah, that's the dog.
I love her.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
So hilarious.
That's our.
I'm like, that is my friend in my head.
She is like a I don't want to say a mentor, but definitely somebody that we look up to.
Yeah. Because
she's been doing it so long, and it's she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. So
right.
We didn't see her. How many followers she had? Go from a little bit of followers to growing up.
So when we first did our show with her, I don't even think she was at 30,000. 40,000, and then she shot up by the end of the year.
Yeah, she got 100 and something.
So how did y'all connect with her? Because I was like,
man, it was an accident, to be honest. So I was sitting at home, pandemic just hit. I'm like, hey, what can we do with our podcast? Like, we've never had a guest before at all. Like, I didn't want guests. I didn't want to be that. I just wanted to be us only. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, why not talk to people? Yeah. And I literally got on Instagram. I'll never forget. And I hit the explore page, and her video with her husband was the first thing I saw. And it started from a DM, and it just went from there.
Yeah. And that's literally how we get a lot of our people, just DMs.
Yeah,
like,
DM.
COVID is I'm saying, not saying the sickness, but this time to think and be creative has definitely opened doors, because you find other, ways to reach out to people.
Right.
Yes. Because I would
everybody's
never,
bored.
ever thought that I would be over here trying to start a podcast.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't even think that. First, I started it. I thought I wanted like a YouTube channel.
Right.
But then I was like, I like podcasts. Like, I love podcasts. Everybody knows me for like, I'll be in class and I'll ask a random question. So y'all, what y'all think about sharks? How y'all feel about lingerie?
Right. It just go on.
Like, like random stuff. And so my classmates, my friends, they were always like, man, you should have like a party or something. At first, I thought I was going to start doing these like parties where people come in, and I might still do it. I don't know. Where people come in, and like your admission is a question or a topic you want to talk about at the party. So because I'm always doing it.
I think that is fun.
I wouldn't go to that.
You should invite me.
I don't like people enough to
because I like to talk.
You wouldn't go to it. Why not?
I don't like people. I'm not a people person. I love people, but I'm not a people person.
And parties is that's not really his thing. He don't even want birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like birthday parties either.
Yeah.
I don't like parties either. Now that I say that,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like
it would have to be like people that I can warm up to people. If it's a room of 10 people and 6 of them are my friends, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right.
If it's the other way around, I'm probably not talking.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet in the cut. So I'll have to pick and choose who it is. So it would never have been a invite who you want to invite type of thing.
Yeah, that's not work.
That's not gonna work either.
I'll be like, wait, who's there?
Yeah.
Who's there? Yeah. All right, I'm not coming.
That's literally that's literally how we are. Like, we'd be like, who there?
Yeah, we're not coming.
Yeah. I need to know what energy coming in the
right.
Oh,
I don't do it. I don't like it.
Fact.
Yeah. So I started as that, and then I've always been very creative. So I'm like, I'm gonna just try to do a podcast because I stay on Instagram ranting about junk.
That's how we were. Like, it sounds so crazy, but I feel like that's how everybody who is in the podcasting world, well, for the most part, like, it's literally just being authentic. Like, we already talk at night on pillows all night long. We would stay up. I mean, especially when we first started dating, we would stay up all night talking about the craziest. I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about our, deep secrets, politics,
everything.
And I'm like, let's take pillow talk, what we do every night, and let's put it in a form where we can package it and let other people experience our conversations and hopefully spark that in their life, So.
Yep.
This makes you, I realize that podcasting makes you step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Especially if you want to have guests. I've reached out to people like I've never even talked to before.
Right.
I've talked to people that I've never even talked to before.
Right.
I've talked more on camera than I've ever spoken in my life.
Right.
And then even like I've grown with how I want content to be, or started to be very detailed about what I like and I don't like. Open to new platforms. Like I just got on Clubhouse.
Right.
And I think it's a hard thing because I don't have Twitter. I don't have TikTok. I don't have
I don't do the TikTok. I like Twitter. Twitter is my favorite social media app.
You get all the business.
It's hard to grow and have, grow on there. But as far as knowing what's going on.
Yeah, they know everything.
The algorithm makes the most sense. Like, I hate Instagram because I'll be scrolling.
No, I literally just saw a post from 3 days ago.
Yeah, like I'll see a post from 8 days ago.
What?
Like, I just saw one of my friends' Christmas picture today. No, I'm like, Instagram, what are you doing?
Like, Instagram tripping. Like,
yeah, Instagram will really put you on your butt. That's another thing that I learned in 2020 with Instagram and all this foolishness. Mm-hmm. You have to, there's so many people who are solely dependent on Instagram for their business to thrive. Yeah. And I'm like, Instagram is trashing folks.
Right. And that's like, money. Right. That's a great point, because 2020 taught us that you cannot have one avenue of, like, I don't even want to say stream of income, but you cannot have one sole thing you do. Mm-hmm. You have to be spread out, because you never know what could stop. Absolutely. Like,
oh my God.
Like, you never know. So if you do have a podcast, do you have multiple, sources where it's at? Like, what if YouTube goes down? What if Apple Podcasts? Do you have your own website? If you have a business, do you have your, are you on Amazon? Are you on eBay? Are you, like, it's so much. You cannot be in one place. You have to be ready to adapt any given day.
Like, it's definitely taught us to expand our minds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my word for the year. I did my homework, and adapt was my word.
It definitely taught us how to adapt.
Bruh, even with the podcast, adapting, you guys are married, so that works. But for the people who are not a couple and we're quarantining, you went from doing content in person to doing content over Zoom. Right. And that's adapting in a whole new way.
Yes. Yeah, but that, like, it was like a blessing in disguise, because it allowed people like us, new people, to get into the game that never would have been able to get in. Right. Because
get so many guests, in every.
We didn't even have to compete with the people with the fancy studios, because Zoom became the standard. Everybody was on
Zoom. Got Zoom.
I don't care if you had nice studio cameras, lights. Now you at home too. So
you at home on this mic.
you at home with a webcam, making it happen.
Y'all got to put the little Zoom screens together, make it look cute, just like me.
Just like us.
We're on an even playing field now.
Right, and that's what 2020 did. I feel like, especially in the beginning, now it's starting to get. I think we're getting back to that point where celebrities and like famous people are kind of rising back to the elite or separate. But when it first started, nobody was making money. Nope. Everybody was scared. We didn't know if we were going on a lockdown. People was talking about the government was, we about to go martial law.
Was mad because they was eating cereal.
We were scared. Ain't nobody know what's going on. I don't care who you were.
Everybody was confused.
Everybody was home. Like,
everybody was in shambles.
Shut it down.
It was like for that one moment, we all evened the playing field.
Absolutely.
It was like, now what you gonna do?
We all were humans for that one moment. I don't care who you were.
I feel like they had come on. Like, I feel like a lot of people was humbled in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it shows so many people that this can really be snatched away from you.
Absolutely.
You thought you had it going on, but it can be
tomorrow. Tomorrow. We've seen people from the smallest or small to the biggest who probably won't recover. And that was just, that's what happened to them. Whether it was because they were in a business that didn't succeed, whether it was, we saw music artists especially, like, they not making money for streams. All their money was coming from shows.
Yep.
So we saw artists trying to, let me do a Zoom concert.
To stay relevant.
Okay. Yeah.
They learned how to use their talent somewhere else.
Yeah. I know. So JT, your word for 2020 is adapt. What's yours, NENE? What's your one word to describe?
One word. Okay. I definitely say.
Make sure it's one word and not a phrase. because she does this a lot. Like I'll be like, "Hey, give me a word," and she'll literally give me a sentence. Like it's
like I said a word. Oh,
yeah.
You can't put multiple words together and make one.
Yeah, she that's her.
Okay, so you said adapt. That was a good word.
No.
You can't steal his either.
I know. I'd be like adapt. We're one. All right. So I'm gonna say maybe grace. You said adapt, so I'd say grace. Because although we had a lot of bad places, bad things, we still were blessed. Well, how about blessed? Because we got a lot of stuff
right
that we got blessed with this year. So I'd say blessed.
Yeah, and I think and I don't want to make it seem like we got, even if we didn't get anything, I think we just learned to appreciate what we had too.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
just waking up and being alive changed in 2020. Yeah. Like that used to be like just taken for granted. Like
the people who had COVID, taste was literally taken for granted. Being able to taste something
and smell,
like
small things. In my last episode, well, we were talking about like Black trauma, but I mentioned that we, like, as Black people, had to learn how to do normal things in a different way. But 2020 taught us that we have to learn how to do normal things in a different way and really appreciate how normal they are and how blessed we are to be able to do them, even if it's unconventional.
Right. I think the craziest thing was when we had that moment when we realized, like, man, we can't go to the grocery store.
That's
like, it was kind of scary. Like, we were like, what if they say we can't go to grocery stores at all? Like, how are we gonna eat?
Like, how
we taking all this for granted. Like,
like it was a wake up call. I mean, but
I was looking into farming. I was looking into all kind of stuff. Like,
not farming.
Like we gotta get some land.
To farm at?
I don't know. I just want to know. Like people were like, man, they're running out of food. And it was so every
people are
day.
like, y'all need to get a farm. Like, y'all need to get some land. like, oh snap, it's about to be bad.
We about to have to go way back.
Oh yeah, but it was. We learned quickly that life, like you said, it can all be taken. We one day away from being either, the richest person in the world or being the poorest.
Yes.
And sick, most sick.
Like the sickest,
Yeah, man.
What's one thing that you would want to leave in 2020? What's one thing you leaving in 2020?
I refuse to complain again in life.
Okay.
Like, I'm not complaining anymore. Like, I realized that as long as I'm alive, to see what so many people went through this year and even stuff that we went through, like, I have no reason to complain. Like, every day I can find something to be grateful for. So I refuse to ever complain or take stuff for granted again, even the small stuff, like everything.
I have to work on that.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, it's hard because you'll find yourself quick, ready to complain. Like,
facts, ready to just wake up.
Let's do it. Like, for today, like, we literally are in not a situation, but we trying to buy a new vehicle. We got 3 kids, right? And it's so hard right now to find a decent price SUV. Like, SUVs are $60,000-$70,000. So here we are, literally at dealerships, getting mad, complaining. And we're like, wait, we have 2 vehicles, and we are complaining
about a third one.
We can't buy a new truck.
Like, we're mad because it's not a truck.
Look at our attitude. Like, we literally had to check ourselves.
Yeah, because a lot of people have one vehicle.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we sit here complaining that they don't have a vehicle that we want, and people are dying. Yeah. So this stuff like that, like, or anything, like, we always trying to find a way to be grateful. Like,
and with that, I don't think it's necessarily like you're complaining, but then the ability to know that you understand what you have aside from the complaining.
Right.
Like I'm complaining about this, but I'm still blessed at the same time.
Right.
So that's I do need to work on complaining though, because I've been complaining about this whole. I done went to school all these years.
Oh,
I
that's
had
different
this
when you
big
graduate.
plan about like my program has a 100% employment rate. I mean,
Right.
when you walk across the stage, you have a job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
From the time it started until freaking 2020.
Right.
So I'm expecting that. Like I'm expecting I'm about to be where I wanted to be in my job by the time I walk across the stage. Like I already got a job secured. I'm walking across the stage getting a diploma and with the job in tow at the same time. It ain't happening.
Right.
it ain't happening like
and that's
that.
what and that's the crazy thing. Like and we was talking about this the other day, like with school, especially, like we got told our whole life, go to college, graduate, you'll get a good job. And, that's not we kept our part of it.
It's not ideal anymore.
We
like,
did our part.
Yeah.
We graduated. Where y'all?
Yeah. Right. That's not.
Y'all gonna run to me my job.
Okay.
Y'all not holding y'all into the bar.
I think it's forcing us to be more creative in our approach.
Yes.
And the stuff that we do and be more, dedicated to. It's basically forcing us to either start new companies, start new ideas. It's putting us in places that we probably wouldn't have been if it would have been given to us. So
absolutely,
yeah, because that made me realize, okay, you don't have this job in this city that you want to be in right now,
right?
But you have talents that can still make you money. Right. Like you can still do architecture work at a residential scale. So right now I have freelance projects. I can make money off of that. I'm not making the money that I would make if I was at a job, but I'm making money.
Right.
I know how to do graphic design work. I'm creative, so I can create in other ways. I can start a YouTube channel. I can do, I don't know. I know how to do all kinds of stuff.
You can do a lot of stuff with that.
You can tutor people in school.
I even me having this little downtime, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it as a positive because I thought that I was gonna be out this thing come 2021, but it looks like I'm gonna have to sit in Louisiana for a little while longer.
And the crazy thing is, the cool part too is that we've realized in 2020 that it's possible to do two things, more than one thing. Because I feel like so many people's like, I'm gonna be this.
I gotta focus on this,
and then they realize, wait, I can actually do this and do that too. I can work a normal job and then do my stuff. It's enough. I feel like we just started appreciating the time, and even so many companies are like, now, okay, you guys don't need to come in 9 to 5. That's such a
oh my god,
that's such an antiquated way of working. Like you just have to be here for. No, if you can get it done in 4 hours at home, do it.
I don't feel like companies are. That's one thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't feel like people are going back full time. I think that companies are about to adapt to turn to this whole remote thing.
Yeah, I think remote is gonna be the way.
Like they're not gonna go back.
Remote and maybe like an office building for like trainings and maybe like different accounting purposes. But as far as like just coming in every day, having to build these massive office spaces and infrastructures, I feel like everything's gonna be more streamlined. I mean, that's when you come in with your architecture.
I was just about to say, we started talking about that.
The modern office is going to change.
Absolutely.
Making things quarantine proof and moving into the future of office spaces. Because at one point, this whole open office thing was very popular. And then people started to realize that they actually needed their space away from their coworkers. They needed those spaces to be able to get away from the crowd. So now we move from open to I need a little space to get away from y'all to
Right.
I'm able to be at home and not be
Right.
bothered with y'all when I don't want to be
Right.
bothered with y'all.
Right. I'm doing
So
work.
I saw a crazy ad in 2020 that was like, literally, it was advertising cubicles again, like a safe way for. I'm like, that's a cubicle. That's nothing more than a cubicle. A closed-in office space that's separated by is a cubicle. Like we had this before. Like
yeah, it's not new.
it's not new. Like yeah, I think the whole office. I think the workday changes, and I think people you're gonna have to be able to adapt to working at home and being reliable at home, or you will be unemployed.
Yep.
yeah.
Like they're gonna find people who can get the job done and stay home. Because some people they can't do remote because they need somebody
on them.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people need to come into the office sometimes.
Right,
So if we had the ability to do both, because sometimes I don't want to see y'all. Sometimes y'all literally getting on my nerves. And I just cannot do it. So if I could be in the office, sometimes I could choose to come or I could choose not to come. That would be beautiful. The firm I want to go to, actually, they're only going to work 3 times a week.
That makes sense.
The other 2 days they are at the house. Well, the other what 4 days?
4 days.
Yeah, the other 4 days. Look, I ain't counting the weekend at first, but I guess it's 4 days. So the other 4 days they're at home. I feel like it kind of boosts your creativity because you're able to have that moment of rest at home. And then you're able to go into the office and feed and give those ideas to other people. Whereas normally y'all are just be in the office getting on each other's nerves.
Right, you don't have time to think, chill, relax.
Yeah. So I
have a question for you.
Okay.
So many people, especially in the Black culture, in 2020 have been so like start your own business minded and like LLC Twitter and all the jokes and stuff. But do you think that everybody should have their own business, or is it okay? Like for example, you as an architect, should one day you have your own firm, or are you okay with working for somebody else's firm forever? You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so I'll speak for everybody else and then I'll speak for myself.
Cool.
So for me, for everybody else, especially as Black people, this is my personal opinion. I feel that we're so used to saying not everybody does XYZ, but I think everybody needs to do XYZ. Like, I think we all need to own our own business because I feel that mentality was placed on us from somebody else.
Yeah.
And then we adopted it. And now we're saying we don't got to do that. And we stand in the background letting other people do it because it seems hard or because somebody told us we don't have to do that. Not everybody got to do that.
Right.
Now, for me personally, an architecture firm, I could never say I'm going to go into architecture and I'm going to work under somebody the whole time. Like I'm going to start my own firm. And I feel that I would do Black architects a disservice if I said I'm going to work under somebody else because my profession is white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, very white.
Right.
So
it has been white.
For a very long time.
For architecture specifically, we absolutely need to own our own businesses. 100%. The other way around is just my opinion that I feel that Black people, we need to own our own business. We are very creative.
And I think we should also be educated on what a business is. Because I feel like some people might have this idea of this big, more
you don't have to do that.
8,000 employees. No, like a business could literally be you as a sole proprietor, like doing independent projects.
Yes.
Or using a trade or skill for yourself. Like we have a family member who can literally fix any air conditioner. I've been telling this dude, you work for this air conditioning company. You are their go-to person. Without you, they don't operate. And
then you're giving a percentage to them.
You refuse to just do stuff on the weekends by yourself. Like just tell people, hey, I'll come check it out.
Like he literally could.
Like he can read. He can read plans.
Yeah. On top of that, like his brother works there too, and he could read. Like he can read like the calculations and stuff.
Yeah, like
that certain people
and
can't.
Like
you can't
if you would
read
talk to them, he would be like, "Wait, why are y'all working for?"
Yeah, the man. That's what we're gonna call it. Yeah, why are you working for the man?
And like I agree with your mindset. It's like it's just mindset. Like it's hard. This is established. I can trust. I'm gonna get paid.
Absolutely.
And it's just that whole fear of. I don't even want to say failure. I just think it's a fear of trying.
Oh, like, I think it's a fear of succeeding.
Me too. I think people are just afraid to become that. Like, I don't know why. Like, if you would know these people, you'd be like, why don't y'all have your own company?
Yeah,
y'all
we ask them
brothers
all the time. They're literally brothers.
They don't operate without them. It's a group of like maybe 12 different people that work there. Every big project, they are coming to them too.
And that should tell you, like, I have the juice to go do this.
They literally do, and they're the only black.
Only black people.
They're the only two black guys.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And I call
we can really take over.
We can take over.
Okay.
If we change our mindset, we can really take
and that's
over.
The thing with us, with black people, and I'm not saying this for all white people, but I feel like the other cultures are lucky that black people are not as evil as the people who are over us. Yeah. We have the talent, skills, the natural ability to really take over, but our mindset is more of a community mindset, and we want to see everybody win versus being superior. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't have that
mindset.
We have a community mindset. I feel like that's why other people are able to come in and be superior over us. Because we always have this mindset. We
thinking about everybody else.
You said that, and I thought about this this argument that me and my cousin had, and this meme that I saw. I forgot, but it was along the lines of like black people have been conditioned to think that we have to be humble. We can't be better than the next person. But I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Oh, yeah,
like I love to see people who are doing better than me.
Me too. I love it. And that's one of my go-to things. I want to see people do better than me.
Yes. Like I want to be in that room with people that's doing better than me. And I want to recognize that you're doing better than me, because that means I'm on level 5 and you're on level 9. And that means I got 4 more levels I can conquer. I know, because I see you doing it.
But like every time I see somebody else succeed, I know 2 things: that I can do it, and then also the level that they were just on is now vacant. Yeah. So I can move into that spot. That's why I don't mind. Like when we talk to Angel, we talk to all these people. I love when they move up, because the spot that they just left, that demographic, that level is now vacant. So as people climb, we're climbing. Everybody's climbing. We just go keep going instead of trying to bring them down. And what's crazy is
a lot of people don't think that people in those higher positions love people like that. Like our friends who are in like, bigger, more, they have the space to do what they want. They have a lot of space to do what they want. They love us so much because we support them. It don't matter how high they go. Like we still rocking with them. We still supporting them. Like we proud of you guys. Like, and it's like, wow, it's good to see that. Like, it's no negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all make it, we make it.
I would never be, and that's something we always talk about. I would never be negative, especially about black people publicly. Like even if it's something like
I might hate in private, but I
might come to you.
But I'm not
I might come to you in private, or we might have our discussion. But public, I'm gonna support you.
Absolutely,
like, it's the best, and that's because that's what other cultures do. Yeah. They don't. They don't do that. They support their people.
If we change, if we have a mindset shift,
yes.
Oh my God.
And it's not even racist though. Like we went to UL. What do Asian people drive? Toyotas. They drive. they drive their own.
They do.
They support.
And they will buy a
They will support a Japanese company, a Korean company before American, because that's who they rock with.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to be selfish.
Yeah.
We don't know how to be selfish. You're right. We really are all about the community. A community that was never, ever, 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 ever even built for us.
Right.
And that does not even care about us.
Right. And I just think it's because we just don't have that evil in us. We are naturally loving people and forgiving people.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Like, so do you think that we have that mindset because of our past? Like, because we literally had to have that mindset to survive whenever we were, in slavery and all that. Like, we had to have that mindset. Yeah. We couldn't be selfish. Like,
I think we proved that even when we were selfish, like when you look at the Reconstruction era and when Black people were building these communities by themselves, they were the bomb.com. Like, white people were coming to these communities to eat, to dance, to party, and this was all Black. So it tells me that when we do come together, we can make it happen.
We can make it happen. Yeah,
we can do it. Like, and that's why I'm so happy to see people like you, about to go into this field and start another lane. Yeah. And my old roommate Jared, he is way out there in Portland somewhere doing that. Yeah. And then everybody, like, we making content. We have the juice.
What's one thing that you guys want to bring back from your childhood until now? One thing that kind of went away, but you would want to bring it back for the years to come.
Well, obviously something that I saw happen this year, but just getting back outside, man. Like that time, like what is it?
No, outside.
Yeah, like
outside all day outside.
Yeah, like, it's something that we gained from being outside. Absolutely. I mean, obviously there's science behind it, but it's just something about.
Absolutely. I think about, for me, like, I used to get in trouble. My mom was big on baseball, and like we used to play like t-ball when I was little. And she would scream at me all the time because I would be in the outfield just playing with the flowers. Like the ball would be just rolling by. I'll just be playing with the flowers. She's like, what are you doing? She's a flower child. Like, I'm like, lost and like I'm still like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like a free spirit. Like I just like to be here. Like, like just embrace.
I have learned with 2020 that I love being in nature. Like, I need outside. Yeah. I need to lay in the grass. I need to. In 2020, I actually start collecting plants. Because I'm like, if I can't go outside need to come to me. Because I can't do it. Right. I love outside. I remember, these kids don't know. We talking about outside. Yeah, we talking about your mama yelling at you to go get in the tub because you smell like outside.
Yeah, we were outside.
We talking about crying because we want to go outside.
Right.
I'm talking about outside. Like, when we get to really go back outside, I'm going outside because I'm sick being in this house.
Oh yeah,
sick.
I hate it.
We've been going, like, we went to the park so much this year.
Yeah, like I would go sit outside on the balcony. I would never do that, but like I just was so disgusted with being inside. Like, it was sickening. Like, I felt like I was just, like in a crazy home. Honestly, like just watching these four walls. Like, I don't want to watch four walls.
And you go outside and just the air, just. I don't know.
It's everything. The air, the smells.
It's something about being outside.
Yeah. Sounds. Just.
It's beautiful.
I was so happy to hear a car, like somebody honk. Hello, like, usually that would drive me, like, but hello.
Yeah, that was.
That's what I loved about Chicago. Like, I went.
Oh, yeah, Chicago is lovely.
Yes, even though you got to go through the little winter part, but
that's the problem.
I went in more like. I went during like the fall time and everybody was outside, but they were safe and they have so many parks. Literally, it's right on the water. Literally, I grew up, every house that I've ever stayed in was right by the train tracks. So, they have a CTA that goes through the whole Chicago. So you hear that noise.
Well, you're kind of used to it,
So, and when I went there, it's very walkable. So I'm walking everywhere. I'm like, I like this. So I just realized that I love being outside.
That reminded me of like we had started watching Insecure since we've been like out here and stuff, like at home. And like I keep saying, like, the way they walk around, the way they eat outside, like they go get food out the food truck and just go.
I was just
walk,
in LA
like,
too. Like
that. Oh my! I just
you don't have that in Lafayette.
Yeah, we don't, and I wish we did.
You got to get in the car.
I went to LA. It was like, what is this? Like people are just everywhere. Like and the way life happens, like it's just so organic feeling.
It
like,
is. I love to go to LA. I love LA.
That's it's just yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah, Lafayette is not built to walk. Actually, that's another thing with architecture. Like
it's not.
Cities are constructed and planned for walkability. Like in Chicago, for instance, you'll notice the sidewalks are very wide.
Right.
And they make it that way because people are meant to walk. It's a walkable city. The sidewalks are very wide. They have a separate little green part for just bikes. They have a part for just trees to protect you from the cars. Like people are meant to be outside. They have parks literally in the middle of skyscrapers.
Right.
Like people are made to be out here. They have the river walk, but then they have benches along the river walk. They have trails along the river walk. They make it so that you can be outside. In Lafayette, I just drive and I feel depressed.
Oh yeah, Lafayette. I don't know.
Sidewalks.
I don't know the planning that went into Lafayette.
It was no planning.
It's like they just like go down, build.
Let's build. Okay.
Ambassador, keep adding. Like
add. We don't care about the water.
Wash.
Yeah, we don't care.
Draining.
They don't have a plan because at first they were like building up the downtown area, the oil center area, and then River Ranch came. Right. And bam, that's how all this started coming on this side of town.
And next thing you know, now it's like Youngsville and Broussard. It's like
it's
a mess.
And then like now it's Karen Cove. Let's go back to Karen Cove and build Amazon. Like let's just do it. Like
they're about to build up 92.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but they're about to build up 90 to make it like walkable and pedestrian safe and all that kind of stuff. Put more businesses over there. I don't know when it's gonna start happening, but yeah.
I kind of predicted that because when they invested in the airport, I was like, I'm sure new things are gonna follow suit.
Yeah, like, they have a whole little master plan they got going on. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be gone. Cause
I'm gonna be gone.
That's one thing about my profession. Like I need to be somewhere that I feel creative. Like I went to Chicago for a whole week, and I'm telling you, when I came back, when I was there, I was working on my thesis project while I was there, and I just feel so inspired. So that's another reason. Like I need to be somewhere that I feel inspired.
Absolutely.
To create. And
that's what happened when I went to LA. Like I literally called her. I'm like, I'm standing outside, and like I was like, I don't want to move here, but
I would love to keep going.
I was like, I don't know what it is.
It screams creativity.
I just feel like I want to go write a book.
Do something because everybody who has a dream goes to California. It's like everybody who has a dream.
I feel like I just felt like
that's another thing.
Yeah, I was in a movie. But I do like the ability of being in like a place like Lafayette and being able to work here and create and then just having the opportunities to go places. Like for us, being that we have a family.
Yeah, what's that?
That's
it's just me and
him.
We
out.
But I love it down here.
It's just you. Take advantage.
So look, what's next for you, man? Like besides the co-host, I know you said that. I don't know if that's a secret. Maybe it was.
I'm trying not to make too many plans. Honestly. Okay. I'm trying not to make too many plans for 2021. Only because 2020 kind of showed me that you can make a plan. But God has something else in store. I'm gonna just say, not necessarily my plan, but maybe things that I want to do. I want to move to another city. I already told you guys the city. I ain't gonna jinx it. I want to start back up my nonprofit, and I have so many ideas with that. I don't know if it's gonna happen all in 2021, but definitely I want to start at my nonprofit. And I think I want to get more into fashion stuff. So
Right.
however that goes on the timeline
Oh yeah.
is how it go.
Yeah.
Definitely. I
Cause
think for that's kind of for us. We kind of talked about it. Like, we obviously we're gonna continue with the podcast, but we like trying to figure out what else do we do with all of our other talents. Like, how do we incorporate
all that into our
like,
life?
from her, like her, you know, her career with, you know, kids and, you know, my music stuff, and then, you know, she sings, and it's just so much. And we're like, man, merchandise. You know what's next? So it's just kind of figuring it all out, and like you said, just getting ready. Like, we have a plan, but we have the space in the plans for God. Like, it's just like you go do you regardless, and we just go work around it.
that goes back to your first word that you thought you wanted to be,
yeah.
Grace. And
grace, yeah, grace.
Yeah,
grace.
Give ourselves grace to for it not to work out how we thought it was gonna work out, but know that we might have to veer off course a little bit, but the goal is still there. That's what 2020 taught me. My goal is still in sight. I just had to veer off course a little bit, take about 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 left turns, but I'm still going.
But what's crazy is, like, back to the inspiration thing, and like you, like, I think you built a bed or something like that, like a headboard. That kind of inspired me, because like now I was talking to her, I'm like, we gotta try to build a better set for our show. Like, you have a set like you're on right now, whether you realize it or not. I was always just in the bed, but now we're like, let's make it more like professional looking and set. So we've been like doing that, and there's so much you can do. Like you said earlier, once you get into it, it's like it, you know,
you get the creative juices flowing.
You like, okay, now how you got this idea, but now you like, how can I make it better?
Yeah.
Every day, how can I make it better? Yeah. That's why I decided I want to co-host, because when I tell y'all, I text the girl every day. I'm like, so what you think about this? So how you feel about this podcast idea? So I'm thinking about this. So I'm like, I might as well just go on.
Just come on in. Come on in the room.
Just come on.
But what I love so much, that's what I tell people with the podcasting, and there's so many different avenues and ways that you can be successful in anything. Like, you just gotta find something that you're really passionate about, and you can do it. Like, people ask me all the time, like, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, do it.
Yeah. Just start.
Start
because you're going to start with one thing you think you want to do.
Yeah, you might.
And then you're going to add on to it.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Right. And I feel like the success and the stuff will follow your consistency and your ability to, you know, adapt. So if you're consistent, if you're adapting, if your content is growing, and you go, the success follows. People will listen. People will appreciate the effort and everything. You know?
It's really about consistency.
Yeah, because I'm cool with. I don't care. I didn't stop looking at how many people watching my podcast episode and all that, because I'm like, I'm doing it because it makes me feel good.
Right.
I'm doing it to get my voice out there. So, that's another thing I want to do. I want to start doing public speaking. So this kind of, gearing me up to that.
Absolutely.
So
that's definitely a force to get public speaking. Yep.
So I didn't stop caring about like how many people watching and all that. I'm doing what I need to do.
That was our first move. When we started YouTube,
cannot care.
Like, we do not, like, we care as far as like we want to put out the content. Like, a million people tell us like, okay, you might want to stop, and we might listen. But as far as like
the listeners, the numbers,
and all that, and the moment that we really stop looking, we go look sometimes. We like, we did this. We got people, like, what? Yeah. We just out here talking.
Like whenever we reach, like, even on YouTube, whenever we reach like 1K, we were like, dude, like, we just had like 25 followers.
Right.
And then it's like it just taught us to just to appreciate the small things, because
that
somebody
people
else's small
will
thing might
people
be
will
big.
listen when they listen, and people will subscribe when they
Go,
subscribe,
and
and you just focus on
Yeah.
the content you putting out.
Right.
Because if
we
they
gonna still
love
be
you,
here
they gonna
regardless.
do it
stay
for the people. In 2021, do what you love and do
for
the best
yourself.
that you can. Yeah, that's
Amen.
whatever you do.
Don't do it for the people.
Never do it for the
Nothing
people.
Never
There's so
do
many
it for the
people living for people right now, and
It's
it's terrible.
ridiculous.
Okay, before we leave, we're gonna play a little game of this and that. So I'm gonna ask you guys 2 questions, and you choose
My favorite
between
game.
either or.
Okay.
Okay. First question: to TikTok or not to TikTok?
Not to TikTok.
Definitely. But I'm a TikTok.
Why? For both of y'all.
Well, I think TikTok. Although I enjoy it, I just think it's so like it's the same 3 or 4 moves for every dance challenge. It's the same like people just pointing at different
He
stuff.
thinks it's kind of like corny.
Yeah, I think it's
like okay, it's not boring yet. Like that's what he's like.
Yeah. But I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, no, I don't.
I think it goes with your personality. That's just not him, like at all. Cause he's more like serious.
So you gonna TikTok though?
But see me, I'm a TikTok. I like to do it. I like to have fun. And I'm always like, come on, let's do a video. Like he's like, no, why? I'm like, just because. Like, he'd be like, why is everybody doing it? Because it's fun.
Especially
See, I'm not gonna do the
no.
TikTok, but I watch the TikToks. Cause they be
it's
so funny. I'm like, bro.
No, yeah, some of
good.
Them are hilarious though. Like some people, especially the voiceovers, those are the
I watch that a lot.
I always tell people like, if you can act that well, don't stop at TikTok. Like some of these people embody those voiceovers so well.
I'm telling you, because I'll be like,
did you say that?
Is you saying that?
Like, it's like they be doing like the
I can't even get my words together. Right?
Yeah,
they do the movie scenes better than the actors. I'm like, wait, you need
in costume and everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm like, y'all missing y'all calling.
Yeah, y'all missing their calling for TikTok. Yeah.
Y'all could be over here doing skits and everything. Y'all got these people over here doing skits, and y'all could be doing skits, making money.
So that's
y'all missing out on TikTok.
But
they be on there.
I'm gonna stay missing out, and she'll do it.
I like to watch. I don't really make videos, but I like to do them like at my house. Like, I don't make videos, but I like to just dip and dab.
So for the second question, quarantine for another year, or go work with Carol Baskin at Big Cat Rescue for a year.
Okay,
which one you choosing?
What phase of quarantine? That's very important.
Oh,
is it like repeat 2020?
Are we in phase 1 or phase like 3-ish?
Or are we repeating the whole thing? Like
we're repeating the whole thing, like the phasing out, the phasing in, the phasing out, the phasing in, like the whole confusion of quarantine.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're gonna get tomorrow.
I probably work with Carol.
I knew you were gonna pick that. I knew you were gonna.
She wasn't a bad like person. She didn't pay him, but she wasn't.
She did what?
They didn't get paid. They were volunteers. But I think they got treated well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you saw, she was like,
she was talking to him.
I would do it.
I would not, only because I'm not about to kill my first off. I'm not about to put myself in harm's way for free. I'm not doing it. Second of all, she not paying me. I'm not working for free.
And like you know what? I'm gonna take that back because
how you gonna take it back? You can't reverse
you can't take it back.
The zoo, I forgot there's other animals in the zoo too. It's not just tigers.
And
I think she only had tigers.
No, she had like monkeys, and I don't like monkeys.
She had like exotic, not as much as the Joe. Like she had exotic animals,
I'm not,
but it wasn't
monkeys.
as much as
monkeys are dangerous.
I like
monkeys.
Me too. Okay. Like
I want a monkey actually.
So yeah.
Okay.
I want a capuchin monkey so bad. You know, I'm just poor right now, so I can't have one. But
once they attack you, that's it.
I feel like you talking about like a huge big monkey.
Yeah,
like, I want me a
like the
small
little
monkey.
monkeys are really cute, like babies.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're so cute. You can teach them how to interact and stuff too.
Or you can just have a kid.
No.
It's the same.
You already have some.
Yeah.
See, the monkey gonna grow to a certain size.
That's it.
And the monkey always gonna love you.
Yeah.
Right.
But your child gonna get older and older and older and older.
I'm risking.
Lord, and bring other people.
Yeah. You're right.
I think me personally, I'm gonna go on quarantine for another year.
Yeah.
I probably do quarantine.
One, I already know it wasn't that bad. It wasn't
that
bad.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't
like
that bad.
It sucked at some point, but it wasn't.
Like I think because we had fear of not knowing. I think that was what's making us
like they
scared.
came back.
We didn't know
if Joe Biden get off, like we're gonna do the same thing again. I would be like, all right. At least I know
it's not gonna be. I know what to expect. Right? Okay, we're going back.
At least we don't have Trump in quarantine.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
at least we'll have a new president in quarantine. That might change it up a little bit. It might change things. I'm going to take quarantine for 5 hours.
Let's do quarantine.
Because I ain't going over there with Carol. Because we don't know. She might still be a cold-blooded killer. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know
I can't trust her. I can't trust her.
And I need to make me a coin. Got to make me a coin.
Wait, I got a last question. Phil. What was the best thing to come out of the quarantine, like movie or production wise?
Oh,
for me, I'll give you mine.
Okay.
I think the NBA bubble was the best thing in history. The NBA bubble, when going to playing games in a tournament style with no fans and just straight trash talk.
You think they played the best?
Yeah, it was incredible.
And they probably hated it.
They did. They hated it. But it was...
These people getting fined for trying to... didn't somebody get put out?
Oh, yeah.
For trying to sneak somebody in that he didn't even know.
Right.
He didn't even know her. He trying to sneak in. I'm like, bro, you risking it all for folks you don't even know.
Yeah.
For real.
Ooh, for me, I love that we got all the Black shows on Netflix.
Yes, that was good.
Big.
Because Girlfriends, I went back and watched, and I was like, dang.
We were just watching
and the Parkers and stuff like that.
Yes, we all
being older now.
We understand.
It's so much funnier too.
Yeah, it's way funnier.
Yeah,
I even noticed with Moesha that it was the Parkers was a continuation of Moesha.
Yeah, I didn't realize
that back in the day.
I didn't know that till
I saw Moesha Mama and I was like, what is going on here?
And then I forgot on Girlfriends, I noticed that they used to do snippets of other shows that they're pilots and stuff on the actual show, on another show. I'm watching Girlfriends, and then Melanie and old Derwin came up. I'm like, who that man?
He should throw that in. He should throw it in.
So I'm like, bro, we really didn't realize none of this stuff was going on, and these was valuable lessons. So
I really enjoyed the adult jokes on the show.
I love
that was a good one. I do enjoy that. That was pretty good of 2020.
That's all for this episode, guys. I really enjoyed talking to y'all.
You too,
man. You too.
If you're listening in, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and subscribe to their podcast as well, Pillow Talking. I'll have it in the description box down below. Go check them out. When do y'all post? Do y'all have a certain day y'all post?
We've been posting on Wednesday. We might change that in 2021.
Okay, y'all just stay tuned. Okay, pay attention. Go follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on the ground.
Yeah,
we've been posting random days,
so y'all can see when they post. Because we said on this whole podcast, we gotta adapt.
Stuff happens. Life happens. Yep.
We gotta adapt. And come back next week. Don't forget, I post every Thursday. As of now, and and you don't want to miss out on the next conversation. Peace out.